Hey, this is Robert Plank from makeaproduct.com. Let's you and I set up and publish a book right now. Now, what is this? Well, it's a piece of sliced bread. And many times people say that such and such a thing is the best thing since sliced bread. Remember when Netflix came out and they had this concept of you pay a flat monthly fee and you can rent a lot of movies quickly if you want, or you could rent a movie and hang on to it for months at a time? What a genius idea. Remember when you first heard about Uber or tried it out for yourself? You tap a button on your phone and a car pulls up. So amazing, genius. And similarly, I think that the latest and greatest, best thing since sliced bread is this concept called print on demand. And here's what this means. It means that Amazon wants you to have a book so much that not only is it free to publish a book, but they will pay you money to have a book. And let me explain. Anyone can publish a book. You can publish a book right now today if you want. And I know that there are a lot of little things holding you up, right? You say, I don't have a fancy cover. I don't have some text. And you know what my thinking is how about you just go on the journey with me and you see me publishing book number 12 and you can see how easy it is, and you can see that Amazon will let you have a digital Kindle plus a physical Kindle paperback book for free. They used to call it a CreateSpace book. Now they just call it Kindle paperback, but you can have a book for free as long as you don't get hung up on all the details, as long as you don't worry too much about what's the DPI on my cover, what book size do I need. The answer to all of your questions is you do your best, you make a stab at it, and you can always change things later. You can always re-upload the inside of your book if you find typos. You can always update the cover, you can always update the price. But the worst mistake you could possibly make when it comes to having a book is not having one. So let me show you what I've created here. Whoa, there we go. So we have, I typed most of this book on my phone. It's about 100 pages in a 6x9 size. And we give you the template for this inside of our course, which is at makeaproduct.com. And in this course, we give you this template, this Word document here, and then you can just paste in the contents of your book. So we have this title page, we have this disclaimer, we have this table of contents, and then there's a few little tricky things I did here, like I made sure that in this book, the page numbers appear here in terms of the odd numbered pages are on the right. So that way, when we have the pages, they're on the corners of the page, not on the inside. We did a few things like we made sure that every chapter begins on, on an odd numbered page. And the reason for that is because we want it so that when someone opens the book, the chapter begins on the right, not on the left. So there are a lot of little things about that as far as getting the book looking just right. I've been playing around with the font in my last few books, and I really like this Palatino linotype. And we made sure to add things like a link to a free gift page, so that way when someone gets the book, they can join our list. We add things like near the end, and about the author page so that they can check out our other books or check out our website. We added a section where they can leave a review. So there are a lot of little odds and ends about your book that you can always go and fix later. But the most important thing is that you have a book, you have page numbers, and then later on you can do the fancy stuff like having the subheaders or having your title here in the book. And so I've saved this as a Word document. And I guess the only really important web address you need to know is kdp.amazon.com, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, okay? kdp.amazon.com. And then when you go to upload your book, they're basically going to want to know three things from you. Thing number one, what does the inside of your book look like? That's the interior. Thing number two, what's the cover of your book look like? And then we'll want to know things like the title, author name, description on your Amazon page, but not a lot more than that. And here's what we're going to do is we can set up a Kindle ebook or a paperback, and I'll set both up right now, but start with the Kindle one for sure because it's a little simpler. So we're going to click here and we're just going to answer some questions. We have to sign in on Amazon, and then I'm going to make sure to fully save and close out this Word document. And then actually, I spoke too soon. I need to fire it back up. That way I can grab the information. So I've prepared a quick description of the book here, but then I need the book to get the actual title of the book. So we'll copy this out and we'll say book title. And I think I'll do it like this. And book subtitle. And again, it's okay if you don't understand all this, just go along the journey with me and let's have fun. Let's get a book online. So we'll say Robert Plank. We have no other contributors. Here's that book description where I more or less listed a few bullet points about why someone should get the book. I own the copyright. It's not public domain. And then keywords. So we'll say, keywords. Self-publishing, podcasting, write a book, presentations, webinars, membership sites, online courses. Because this is a book that teaches how to do all sorts of stuff. Make a book, make a podcast, make some courses, set categories. You choose two. So this is nonfiction, and we're looking for business, and then maybe a general marketing, and then there's nothing like writing or self-publishing is there. There's computers, but that's databases and things like that. Web. Podcasting category, sure, let's also put it in the podcasting category. So we chose our two categories, and then we can choose to make the book available for pre-order. And to be honest, earlier today I thought I was going to do this. I thought I was going to choose the date ahead of time and get a few get a few pre-launch emails going, but I'm just going to put the book out there and I will mail for it when it's approved. And we'll just make a bunch of sales there. So save and continue. And then I always choose yes, enable digital rights management. And that way people can loan the book out to their friends. And you get a little bit of extra money from Amazon for that. So next, the only two tricky parts, upload the manuscript, the interior, that Word document, and then upload the cover. So again, in our course that's called makeaproduct.com, we give you that template and we give you instructions on how to go onto freelancing sites and hire someone to get a cover made for you. So the person that made my cover did this with the shattered light bulb, and I really like how this came out, so this will be our cover. So first, we'll say upload the ebook manuscript. And we'll browse to the folder for that. We'll make sure to close down the Word document too, just so that we don't interfere with anything. And then what's going to happen there is, okay, now the document's there, and then it says processing. So sometimes it might take like 20 minutes or so for it to crunch it all and check it out. So in the meantime, we can do other things with our book. There's a cover creator, which it's better than it used to be in previous years, but it's still not super great. And then we need to upload a cover, but it looks like I don't have it in JPEG format. I have it in this PNG format, but that's not going to help us because that is not the format that they want us to upload in. So give me a second while I fire up Photoshop, and then we'll save it because right now we just have it in PNG form. We'll save it as a TIFF form, TIFF. All right, loading. Loading the cover. All right, so now we have this cover that was given to me, and then I'll just go and save as, and then make sure to save it in this TIFF format. And how do I save it with no layers? Guess I have no choice. All right, so now that's saved. So then upload a cover you already have, upload your cover file, and then there's that TIFF. And so while that's uploading, give me a second to explain the difference between what we're doing and what we're about to do. So what's really great about a Kindle book, and the reason why we began here, is because a Kindle book just lives digitally. With a Kindle book, all you're worried about is this front flat cover. You don't have to worry about page sizes. You don't have to worry about margin sizes, like is the book too close to the middle. You don't have to worry about page numbers because it's digital, right? Someone can read your Kindle book on their phone, on their computer, on their tablet, on their Kindle device. So there's a lot less headaches when it comes to putting your book on Kindle. But then in a second here, when we put the book into paperback format, then we'll deal with things like the back and the spine. And I have a shortcut for you, because maybe you've tried putting a paperback book out there before and you really got hung up about the spine, because the more pages your book is, the thicker it is, the wider the spine is, and things have to line up exactly. It's a huge headache, but the secret is that when it comes time to put out your paperback book, you can choose a template where you just slap the front cover on, you have your spine and your back color match this, whatever the background color is in your graphic, and then you can just type in the spine and you can type in your bio and put your picture on there, and it will automatically size and shrink according to what you put in there. So next we launch the previewer, but we might have, all right, so it'll take a few minutes. Whoops, let me switch back to the desktop here. So we uploaded our cover, and then we're waiting for it to crank along, but we can still upload, or we can still fill in the rest of this. And so they ask us about the ISBN number, and we'll just leave it blank, because this is the thing that holds so many people up from having their book online. Next, we click on Save and Continue, and then we can choose the price that things are going to be set at. So we can, and what I like to do is I just price my Kindle book as low as it'll possibly go, because we're trying to sell based on quantity, based on volume. We're trying to get as many copies of our book out there. And if you're really looking to get rich from your book, a better way of going about that is to think of your book as the first step in your funnel. Sell as many copies of your book, get someone on your list, and sell them a more high-ticket course, right? Sell them on your coaching, but try to get your book in as many hands as possible. So next, we'll say, enroll my book in KDP Select. And this is a thing where you can give away your book for free and get a little bit of money each time that's done. And then they'll do this pricing support. Well, they'll show you a graph and suggest what the sweet spot is, right? So they'll say, well, if you make your book a little higher in price, then you can make a little bit more money. So my plan here is to price it as low as possible, and then maybe later on I'll follow their advice, or maybe I'll make it $349 or $399 in order to be at that sweet spot where it's priced low but also sells a lot of quantities. So what I'll do here is I'll go back to rights and pricing, and then I'll just choose the one that, so if we choose 35%, it can be as low as 99 cents. And then if it's 70%, it can be as low as $2.99. So I really like the idea of getting people to buy it for 99 cents. 99 cents. And then we're selling it in all these other marketplaces all around the world. Enroll in Kindle Matchbook for free, which means that if someone buys the print book, we'll give them the Kindle book for free. Allow lending, which means that they can, if they can buy the book and then loan it out to a friend for 2 weeks, so then the book disappears from their account, ends up in someone else's account. So you can see that Amazon gives us a lot of really neat options to have our book out there. And I'm ready to publish it, but I want to go back and see if it's finished with the processing of the book, of the inside and the cover, because I want to see what it looks like. And it looks like we're just about ready to go here, right? So we can see how the cover looks. We can preview this. And this allows us to flip through the book and see if there's any weird errors. And you know what? If there are, I don't care. I want to get the book out here. I'll fix it later. So everything looks to be in order. We have the free gift page. We have, so nothing really looks too much out of the ordinary. And they'll let you try it out. And check this out. You can see how it looks on a phone. You can see how it looks on a reader. And it looks like any other Kindle book. So I'm really happy with this. So I like how this came out. And the way that the book looks is more of an issue when you're dealing with the print book. And so, we filled in the information. We uploaded our cover. We uploaded the inside. We chose the pricing. So now we'll just go and finish this. And this will give us, in a few hours, a digital Kindle book. Well, if their system didn't crash, it'll give us a digital Kindle book. So we'll pick up where we left off. And we'll just we already saw the pricing, so we'll just page through that and choose that we want to have it published immediately. And it looks like it lost some of our stuff. So enroll, matchbook, lending, publish our Kindle book. So great. So that's the first step in that process, step 1 of 2. And then now, because we're here, we might as well publish the paperback book. And see, they're already ready for us to do it. They say, start your paperback book now. So what we can do is either click on Start Your Paperback Book Now, or when you come back, you can click on Create Paperback, and that's what we're going to do here. And it's going to be a very similar process where we just go and step through and we answer a few simple questions like, what's the inside look like? What's the cover look like? What are the listing details like the description and the price? So we'll go here and we'll find, and I think if you go here and just say just have paperback, it might not necessarily be linked, and they like you to link it. They like it where if we have this book here called Marketer of the Day, and here's the digital book plus the paperback. So they like to have that linked, so that way if someone is on your Amazon page, so like say someone is on the Amazon page for our Marketer of the Day book, then they can choose the Kindle book or the paperback book. They can easily jump to whichever one that they want. And so so for that reason, we have our Kindle book already ready, and Amazon's going to look at it, and then we'll click on Create Paperback, and then go through a few similar processes. And so what I'm going to do here is I'll open up my Word document book. And by the way, if this book looks cool that I'm setting up here, you can check it out at www.hwbook.com. And what we have here is this Word document. And I used to have some formatting issues when putting the book in paperback form. And I found that the secret is saving it as a PDF-A. And we have this in Word. We can go to File, Save As. But instead of saving it as a Word document, we'll save it as a PDF. Click on More Options, and then Options again. And make sure that this PDF/A compliant is checked. What is PDF-A? Who knows? But it makes the Kindle version appear much better. I think it's more of a strict standard for PDFs, whatever the heck that means. And so now that we have that PDF saved, we're going to upload the PDF for the paperback, not the Word document. A little different distinction. And here's what's really convenient. is because Amazon already knows that we had the digital version uploaded. They've copied most of our answers already into the text field. This is super convenient. As we said, the best thing since sliced bread. What we'll do here is we'll scroll past. It's not part of a series. It's not any edition number. No other people writing it. And my name's already filled in here. Description's already filled in here. I own the copyright. Keywords are already filled in here. And then the categories we chose don't quite translate to create or to paperback. So we'll choose one more category in nonfiction. And let's see, it's not self-help. Computers. So I think we get that podcasting category, which doesn't quite have an equivalent. But maybe there's like a business, marketing, networking. So marketing, we had general marketing. There's motivational counts. Don't overthink this. I'm just looking through a few things here. And I was thinking self-help or like communication maybe. Like a business communication. There we go. Perfect. Business communication, meetings and presentations. All right. So we'll click on save. And these sorts of things don't really matter that much. Which category it's in, what keywords. You have way more important things to worry about. So we just answered a few of these questions. Then I'll hide my head there so you can see that we're going to click on save and continue. Click on that. And then I'm sure next we'll upload the cover and the interior and then wait a few minutes for it to crank along for us. And then, again, people always get stuck on this. Just choose get the free ISBN. Later on for book number 2, 3, 4, 5, if you really are that dead set on registering your own ISBN, I guess you can. But for now, just get the free ISBN they assign to you. Next, we'll leave the publication date blank, so it'll just be live whenever Amazon approves it. And then print options, again, leave it at the default. Don't overthink this because later on you can do this sort of stuff, right? Later on you can get a different paper size. You can get a tiny little book, a big book. But all of my Amazon books are just the same standard 6x9 inch size. And then one thing, though, that I will say is that I do like the glossy better. So glossy means that we have, let me switch cameras here. Glossy means that we have, see how like the light kind of catches it? It's one of those shiny sorts of covers. And then matte is where it's just kind of a rough cover, and there's even like some dust on it. So I like the glossy better than the matte, so that's the only thing I would change is make it a glossy cover, not a matte cover. And then upload the interior, the manuscript, upload the cover. So we will browse to the PDF-A we just created. Give it a minute to upload that. And then once that's done, I'll close down the Photoshop and all that. Then we will upload the cover. Whoops, shoot, clicked the wrong thing. I don't want, actually, no, I did do the right thing. I did choose the cover creator. And let me explain this to you. So they will, they'll try to make you choose from a design here, right? And a lot of them really suck, right? It's like, there's all this other stuff. And what we want to do instead is choose this one that says use with front cover image. So this way, like we said, they'll just slap on that flat cover and then you can fill in the text and everything for the spine and the back. So again, if you want to be a real perfectionist, you could hire a graphic designer to give you basically a flat, big, long cover. Just keep it simple. Just choose this top left one that says use with front cover image and slap your flat cover right on there. Gets it done. So choose this design and then we'll click on, what's that say? Click to edit or change image. And then we'll upload from my computer and we'll upload that TIFF graphic. Oops, Okay, so in this case, now we're getting a little technical. In this case, they won't let us upload a TIFF. We'll have to upload this PNG. So double click, wait for it to upload, and then all we'll have to do is just look at, I might have to, I'll figure out what color that is, okay. So we have this front cover, and then all we need to do is make sure that the back and the spine matches that similar color shade. And we'll say choose colors. And do they let us shoot? So we can't choose an exact color, and that's okay. We'll just approximate it. We'll do our best to get a. So there's our background color. Try to get as close. Well, either I'll do a black or a dark blue. I think I might just do black for the back because that background is black enough. So yeah, I'll just do that for the background color and then leave it as white text. And then the next thing to do is to fill in. This is where our picture will go, and then we'll fill in the description. So I'll go click on from my computer, and then I'll grab a photo of me. If I have one that's, I guess I'll just do the one that's just my head. And again, those graphics gods strike again. So I think I'll go to my website and I'll just grab an image from there. About page. I mean, this will get us by right now. That's a JPEG. Save it to our desktop. From my computer. From my desktop. And then we'll paste in that description again. And then here we'll say www.hwbook.com. And we don't have a lot of control over how this text looks. Let's see if we have a font here that we like. I want like a real thick one. That sort of matches that cover font, so I like that. Made it centered. Let's see. Claim your. Visit our website, maybe. www.hwbook.com. And then. So we have a lot of text here. And I think we'll remove the bullet points so that way we can have larger text. And can't really see that well. It's text for ants, but we can at least read your copy. All right, so they are complaining that the quality of this image is just barely under what they want, and I think for that I'll fire up Photoshop one more time in the background and save a higher quality version. And in this case for you, you might just have to go back to your graphic designer and say, give me a higher quality version of that. And so while we're waiting for Photoshop to do its thing, I'll maybe bold. Oh, we'll make sure the font matches this as well. We said this is, we said this is Ubuntu, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So I'll save as a PNG, large file size, and Not sure why it's a little off kilter, but I don't think we can do much about that. Yes, okay. Maybe we'll make it a little bigger. Maybe that's the ticket. So yeah, it's not really gonna. Oh, that's why it's off kilter, because it's. I mean, I think that's the best we're gonna do. Yeah, we'll just set it back to auto fit. Auto fit, and then bolds. Right, and then choose a new cover image. So let me re-upload the PNG. All right, so I guess that's just the best we're gonna do. And I mean, it's not that far off. They want 300 DPI. It's only 244. I think it'll still be okay. So sometimes in, oh, will it? We recommend. So we saved, we preview. Okay, so we need to preview first before submitting. Close a few other things down. All right, so I don't like that it wrapped this. And so you don't have to start over. You can just click on the top here and click on style, and maybe we'll, so I guess their auto fit didn't quite fit the way we wanted. So let's just try 12 point preview again. Almost. All right. Then we'll go back, and if 12 point didn't do the job, we'll make it bold and we'll make it 11 points. Just a little bit of guess and check. And then what we'll do after this, darn it. Okay, so I guess we do, maybe we'll make it a little bigger. We'll try the other way. So that way, at least with it being on 2 lines, it'll not look so bad. So we'll try 12 points, and will they let us kind of do a line break? Make it a colon. Make it bold. And fingers crossed, that'll be the ticket. So, yeah, well, once we're happy with the cover, then they'll give us the ability to virtually page through, and then I'll be checking to see about the page numbers and the margins. Yeah, I like that. So the page numbers and the margins, and then, yeah, we'll just see if anything weird stands out for us. So save and submit, continue. And then again, this all can change later. If you decide later on you want a different cover, you want a different background, anything, different picture of yourself, you can change that. So now going here, we have the paperback uploaded, we have the cover uploaded, and then now it's time to launch the previewer. And so we can digitally flip through, and then once we're happy with everything, then we can also get a proof copy mailed to us. So if you're the kind of person that says, I'm going to look at this and I'm still not sure if I trust it, then you can still get a copy of your book mail. It'll just say something like, I think it says on like the inner cover, like author copy only. But that's still a good way for you to hand out some samples, have some of your friends and family go through and kind of read it by the fireplace and edit it and things like that. And so this shouldn't take too long. This should just take a couple of minutes here for it to assemble everything and scan everything. And I think they even go as far as running a spell check on here. So they'll give you a list of things that they found wrong with the book. But the thing to keep in mind is that many things that they'll say are wrong are not actually wrong. And usually with me, they'll tell me that they wish that the images in the book are a little better. So they'll say, well, we don't like that. This image could be in a little better quality. I'm thinking, it's already a black and white inside. What do you care? And I think that this book in particular literally only has one image in the whole thing. And you also might notice that this message is changing a little bit. So they checked the cover, then they said they're checking like the sizing in the book. Now they're checking the fonts. So we'll just let it do its thing, and then we'll be able to preview and page through, and we'll see if those first couple of pages look right. We'll see if the table of contents looks right. We'll definitely see if those back pages look all right. And then if anything needs to be changed, no big deal. We can just open up our Word document again, make whatever change needed to be made, resave, re-upload, preview, and then get it published. So we're literally at this point just minutes away from having a paperback version, and it'll take a few hours, maybe a day or two with Amazon's approval. I think at the most Amazon has taken a weekend, say like 2 days to approve, and then the fastest they've approved is 4 hours. So we're almost at the finish line here, checking the margins, checking the pages. Any second now, we will be able to see what our book will look like. And then as far as the pricing of the book, my strategy is the same with the Kindle version. I will price it as low as possible. So if they say that it's $4 to print it, and then anything else above that is your profit, then I'll price it at $4.99. And then later on, if I decide I feel like raising the price, I'll usually price a book at $9.99. I think that's a pretty acceptable going rate for books these days. And they'll say, here's what your book will look like, and you can step through. And so again, what I want to look for is I want to make sure that when we open the book, if there's a title page, table of contents, chapter title, that it appears on the right side, because that'd look weird, right? If like a chapter began here, we want chapters to start on the right hand side. And so I made sure that I look at this table of contents. I make sure that a chapter always starts at an odd numbered page, and if it doesn't, then I'll either do a Control Enter to do a page break, or if there's already a page break, I backspace and pull it back. And so when I revise this book, then I have to make a pass and make sure that these all end up being odd page numbers, but we can just page through and see if anything is a little out of the ordinary. So I'm not sure about this image, but I guess maybe I'll enlarge the image, but that's not a big deal at all. But something to keep in mind is that you don't want the text to be too close to the middle. And if you've tried this in the past and failed before, sometimes people have the text of a book like way close to the side, and you have to really almost pull it apart to read it. So the text looks good, not too close to the side. And then we see that the page numbers are right there on the corner. And I like how it looks. And like we said, this is the one place where there's a graphic. And I would like the page numbers to be a little larger, but I'm not going to let that hold me back. And then they always say, well, we removed non-printable stuff. That's not a big deal. And then please check that everything matches. It does. And so, yeah, they don't really complain about too much here. I'm surprised that they didn't even complain about that image there. So we can either page through, or we can do this thumbnail view and just see the book from a high-level overview and scroll through. And I like to check the very back. So I see, let's see, does this make sense? Final thoughts about the author, and then they leave a quick review is on the very back. So I like that. I'm completely, perfectly happy with how everything in this book came out. It looks like the font came out all right. And to be honest, when I was looking at this in a Word document, I thought, whoa, this text is huge. It's huge. But then when we scroll through on book format, it looks a little tiny. So I'm perfectly happy with the way all this came out. And then now it's just time to approve it. So I'll hide my face again. We can see that on the bottom right, there's this approve button. And then now that we clicked approve, then we just go through and answer any final questions, such as what's the price, and then where do we want to sell it. So now we'll go and we have the cover, we have the book, and it only costs us $2.15. I mean, amazing, right? So that's something to really think about, because I thought I was going to have to price my book at $4, $5, but $2.15. I mean, things have gotten really cheap. And so now I'm thinking like maybe $2 is a little too cheap. I'm not sure. So we'll see what so with shipping and everything, the lowest that they'll let us price it at is $3.58. So now I have a decision to make. Do I make it $3.99 and totally break even? Or you know what? I'll make it $4.99. We'll make it $5 for this book. And again, you can always increase the price or lower the price. And they have this expanded distribution. Ooh, okay. Which I think you have to pay for. So I guess I'll make it $5.99. All right. So now, yeah, so we'll just, whatever that lowest price is that gets us everywhere, right? So now we sell on Amazon, we sell in Britain, all these different places. And keep in mind that you can always raise the price later on, but first worry about your book launch, right? Worry about getting your book in the hands of as many people as possible. Sell in all territories. Don't limit yourself by not selling in other countries. So we'll sell our book for $5.99. Later on, we'll increase it to $9.99, but for now, this gets the book out there. And then we'll click on publish your paperback book, Moment of Truth Time. And again, Amazon has to take a quick look, have a real life human person take a scan, but there you go. Now it can take up to 72 hours, but now we have a 99-cent Kindle book and a $5.99 paperback book. And that's literally everything. As you saw, the hard part was just getting the dang book written, which we can help you do at makeaproduct.com. We can help you get your cover created, help you figure out what should be in your book, help you with that motivation, that discipline of getting the pieces of the book knocked out, and help you with some of those technical details such as getting it formatted and dealing with jumping through a few of Amazon's hoops. But I mean, that wasn't too difficult at all, right? Just going through the steps, uploading the required files, answering just a handful of questions, and we didn't even have to answer them twice because once we had the Kindle book in place, when it came time to put out the paperback book, they just copied most of our answers right there. So there's very little headache when it comes to print-on-demand books. I mean, it's not like the old days when it would take years to publish a book. You can literally do it in a few minutes. You can, and to even blow your mind even further, you can make a book in a day. You can make a book in an afternoon. These days, a lot of books are very thin, right? A lot of on Kindle, a book can just be 30 or so pages. And even check this out, the back of the book doesn't even necessarily have to match the front. And I think I was playing around with the cover creator on this book in particular, and I liked the contrast. And I said, I like the orange on the front and the gray on the back. So if this interests you and you're tired of making books the hard way, if you're frustrated trying to figure it out yourself, then the place to go here is makeaproduct.com, where we can and we will help you create your book. So this is Robert Plank from checklistmindset.com and from marketerofthedaybook.com. We want you to have a book. So I hope that helped. I hope that gets a book for you on Amazon. And don't let any of those finer details hold you up. Those are just things to figure out as you go along. You might find typos later. You might want to change your cover later. You might want to increase your price later. But don't let the technicalities stop you from where you can and where you should go. MakeYourProduct.com. I'm Robert Plank, and thank you.